All right. MEA week, right? That's it. So I'm going to take a little media coaching. Carly's been on me about making an introduction, so I'm going to start with that way. So I'll just recap the game to start. I thought our guys played with great energy. I thought they played hard, executed the game plan. We had some standout performances from Jordan, from Daniil, and really everybody. I mean, there's guys. I kind of try to highlight the guys who make plays without making the play. We got that from Pat Jones. We got that from Bynum. So I thought collectively the guys played well. They played hard, turned the ball over. I thought Chicago did some real nice things in the run game, so there's some things for us to clean up there. But overall, very good job from last week. Unfortunately, we lost Marcus Davenport, as you guys probably heard. He went on IR. So I'm sure he'll do everything he can to get back, and that's a minimum of 4 weeks, so we will reevaluate after that. But quite honestly, I'm just recapping because my mind's been on the 49ers really since the end of the game. Obviously going to be a big challenge for us. This is as physical a team as there is in the league. They've got standout players, on the offensive line, starting with Big Trent, in the backfield with McCaffrey, receivers, tight ends, you name it. They've got Pro Bowlers at the position, so this would be a big challenge for us. But we're certainly looking forward to it. Them coming to U.S. Bank and playing in front of our fans on a Monday night. It's going to be a great atmosphere. So with that, I don't know. I'm sure I'll get an evaluation later here. But I'll ask any questions. Hey, Lindsay.
With Marcus going out or on IR for now, just what have you seen from DJ Wanham? And it seems like he always tends to have good games against the Bears, especially. But what have you seen from him this season?
Yeah, so I think DJ really, just from when I got here and getting to know him, he's a extremely hard worker. Football's important to him. He's very smart. Has learned multiple positions. Does a good job setting the edge. Does a lot of things that help his teammates. He's been kind of the unsung hero in a lot of plays this year. And in some instances, he's been the one who's made the play. He's done a great job. But, that entire room's, played solid for us. Pat Jones is in this category of making a play without making a play, whether he's taking on a block or I'm just thinking about one play in the Bears game. It was a third down, and, they snuck a run in there. And, Pat was the one who knocked the guard back and got an arm in there for a big third down stop. And then obviously Daniil's played very well as well. So just collectively as a group and as a whole defense, losing Marcus is a big loss. But we'll need to just collectively pick up the slack in all areas, players, coaches. But obviously it'll be the guys in that room too. We expect to step up in his absence.
Brian, when it comes to Daniil Hunter, obviously his physical stature stands out. But what have you seen and learned about him beyond just his physical ability that has led to such consistent excellence over his career?
Matt, thank you for the question.
Correct.
Okay. I'm working on my names too. Yeah, thank you.
That was solid.
Thank you. The names is another thing Carly's on top of me about, so I'm working on those as well. But, speaking of Daniil, I think the first thing that comes to mind is you mentioned his stature. I think he's big and physical. He plays the right way. He plays hard. Again, another play from, the Bears game. I think Fields got out and he chased him down, and you just saw him take off. And so you see the speed, the tenacity. And I've talked about this with Daniil as well, just his, not with him, but about him, just his work ethic. I mean, it's every day. It's film, it's technique, it's fundamentals, and it shows up on game day. and we're happy to have him. I know he's done some good things, but there's still improvement there, and he still comes in and says, "Hey, I could have done this better, that better," we'll just continue to keep working and continue on the trajectory that he's on.
How hard were the plays Hicks made? I'm thinking like the ball up in the air that he caught over his shoulder, and then the scoop and score, having the speed and also securing the ball.
Yeah, I thought that was a great catch. A great catch, almost a baseball-like center field catch. That's an unusual one in our game. That doesn't really happen all that often. So for him to reel that in that moment was big for us as a team. And I think it was a huge kind of momentum swing in the game. We then turned, that into I believe, a touchdown at the end of the half. Which those ebbs and flows in the game are huge, and to make a play like that was big for our team and our defense. And then you mentioned the scoop and score. First, it was I want to say a good rush by Harrison Phillips up front that made the quarterback step up. Matelis came from blind side, knocked the ball off, which we've been talking about, getting the ball off of receivers, backs, tight ends. So it was a great play by Matelis. And then, Jordan scooped and scored, and it was it's one of those situations where, the player's got to make a decision. Do I jump on it and get the ball back to the offense, which is kind of the safe play, or do I try to make the real splash play and scoop and try to score this? And, Jordan, be the vet that he is, having the confidence and the peace. He made the second choice to try to make a great play, an even better play, and he got it done.
Brian, what led to Andrew Booth getting the playing time, and what do you think of him out there?
He's done a really good job in practice, and we'd kind of seen that over the course of, let's call it 2-3 weeks. And Mekhi had been playing well too, but we just felt like, hey, this is. Let's give Andrew an opportunity, and I thought he did a nice job with his snaps throughout the game. Made some good tackles. Coverage was competitive, so he did some good things.
How has the role for Josh Matelis, especially as a pass rusher, evolved from maybe what you thought when you first got him in here?
I think Josh is just such a versatile player. Plays multiple spots: linebacker, nickel, safety, special teams, and it's evolved because he's allowed it to evolve. Really, it's the more that each player can do, and he's shown himself to be a good blitzer in practice. He's been close in games. And he's just continued to work at it, and got one last week, and hopefully we can build on that. But he plays multiple spots. He's up, on the line of scrimmage. He's back. He's deep. We try to move him around quite a bit. But his role has evolved because he's allowed it to evolve. He's really made it evolve, and we are excited about kind of him moving forward, and he's done a really nice job.
Did you know right away he could be that type of Swiss Army knife for you, or when did that first come to your mind that we could use him everywhere?
Did I know right away? No, you never really know. But it didn't take long for me to see that he was smart, that he understood the game conceptually, and could kind of see I could kind of see, or we as a staff could see, where he could fit in several different kind of spots. We have, several personnel groupings, and I try to talk to our staff about, hey, this is the type of player we're looking for in this grouping. This is the type of players we're looking for in this grouping. And I think Dante did a great job really early on, saying, hey, I've been with Matelis for, some time here. He can do this, 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 and this. And, for me, I'm like, he can do all those things. And thankfully, Durante, he was right. So just from a capacity standpoint, he understands the game almost to a coach's level. Whether it's, coverage concept, run game adjustments and fronts. He's done a really nice job that way. And, he's, that's evolved as well, And, there's instances now where it's, how much can we put on there? Because we put a lot on there. And we just continue to add more, and it hasn't been an issue for him.
Caleb came out for a few snaps at least during the game. Was that like health reasons, schematic reasons, or?
It was a physical game.
Yeah.
As you saw, really on both sides, very physical game. So he was banged up a little bit. Came out, went back in. I think we had that with several players. Both teams did. Physical game, physical NFC North game. It's just par for the course. But he'll be out there for we're walking through today, and everyone's got nicks and bruises right now, and he's part of that. I'm sure he'll work day after day to get out there, to be out there. But I think he'll be out there today.
You mentioned the 49ers physicality. What's the key to matching that this week or being able to counter it?
I think we're always trying to play physical. I think every team every week wants to play a physical brand of football. With this group, it's everybody. It's every player. If there's a player on the field, that player is physical for the 49ers. We got to match that physicality. I've known Kyle a long time. I know he's preaching that in his room day after day after day. That's something that really everybody knows that. It's not, it's no secret. They're going to bring a physical style, and we've got to match it.
What's it like to prepare for this system? I mean, you mentioned the talent that they have at multiple positions, but then you add kind of the complexity of the system, and the pre-snap stuff, getting guys to see through kind of the window dressing.
Yeah, definitely a lot of window dressing. There's a lot to prepare for from that standpoint. Not only just the skill of the players, at the skill positions, and then the intellect and command of the offense that Purdy has. On top of that, you got Kyle sitting there who's done this for a long time, has really seen every front structure, every coverage concept, every blitz, and's got an answer for all those. They have a very good scheme. Part of that for us is just look, we're gonna have to play fast. We're gonna have to play physical. We can't sit there thinking about what to do or try to be mesmerized by the every shift, motion, jet. He's got them all. Shift, motion, jet, orbit, whatever you want to call them. Known to man, he's got them. And they show him, and what they're trying to do is get your eyes in a spot where they want your eyes, and then go the other way. And it's not easy to. It's easy to just say, "Hey, don't look at that." When it's Debo running over there, Debo, could get the ball and go 90 yards. It's easy to say, "Don't look at him." But I think it's about playing team defense. It's about reading your keys. It's about everyone handling their responsibility. If you're an edge setter, set the edge. If you're a deep player, play deep. We got to tackle well. We got to defeat blocks. You do all those things, and you're just putting yourself in a good position. Then you got to make the play. So definitely a challenge. But we love challenges. That's why we're here, and looking forward to it.
Brad, how much have you seen Caleb develop from the time you got here and started working?
I think he's done a really nice job, just kind of learning the defense, but really more his technique, his fundamentals, in coverage, getting off blocks, tackling, playing the ball in the air, and he's still working, he's still evolving. He missed that one ball a few weeks ago. He's been on the jugs every day since, so continually working on his craft. He's very mature. He's got a workmanlike approach on a day-to-day basis, and that's what you need in this league to develop. I think he's done a nice job.
As you're making decisions about how often to send extra pressure, I guess how much of that is based, if any, on the corners developing and showing they can handle it on the back end if you send extra guys up front?
It's some of that. I mean, that's such a, I understand the question, but there's a lot of kind of layers to it. I think when people talk about blitz and blitz percentages, I may see it a little bit differently. There's run pressures, there's max blitzes, there's blitzes, there's fire pressures. I think we send a kind of there's fire zones. I mean, we send a different, or we've done all of them over the course of the year. If it's a run, I don't really view it as a blitz. I think I may view it a little bit differently. But I think, for a team like this, and really every team, there's, spots where you would like to do it in the run game, and sometimes you don't want to do it for, a number of reasons. It could be because of their play-pass game. It could be because of their drop-back game, or you might want to. I think that's based on game plan. Obviously, the players are part of that as well. Do we want to leave them out there? Will the pressure get there? If it doesn't, then we've left them out there. If it does, then we haven't left them out there. So there's just decisions that have to be made, and we try to, as a staff, based on formation, down and distance, things of that nature. Send it in the most advantageous spots. Sometimes that's the case, and we make the play. Sometimes it's the case, and they make the play, and that's kind of football. So, as you know.
So how do you define what a blitz is that would be part of a blitz raid?
Is it a pass or is it a run? You know what I mean? It's in my mind, it's there's run pressures, and then there's pass pressures or pass situation pressures. But if you call a run pressure and they pass it, some might see it as a blitz. So, it's just, but I don't know what the offense is doing. But a run pressure could turn into a pass pressure based on what the offense does. It's like
You wouldn't chalk that in as a blitz per se if you call a run pressure and they pass.
I think I've got different definitions for you got max blitz, you got blitz, you got fire zones, you got fire 2, fire 3, 5-man, 6-man, 7-man. I don't know what I have my own, kind of criteria for it. I don't know what anybody else's is. Maybe we could, put them together and you could use yours. I don't know which one we would use, but that's. I don't know if that answers your question, because I would like to answer it.
It's probably like a really long answer, I guess,
Okay.
in reality. But no, I mean, I'm saying like just to be able to actually know. I don't even know how our, I think it's just when there's
5 or more.
more
Right?
than
5 or more is a blitz?
Yeah.
That tends to be the colloquial
Yeah.
definition. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that like
We blitz a lot.
and they take it from the GPS stuff.
Okay.
Just, when 5 or more are going
What if
that
somebody just
direction.
goes the wrong way?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Then that goes in your.
That was a
in your
mental
blitz
error.
order. Yeah.
So,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, let's have that conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
5 or more.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Well, Matt Daniel,